Former NBA League MVP Russell Westbrook, for the first time in 17 years, doesn't have an NBA team. No NBA team has signed him for the upcoming season. And a lot of people are speculating on why Russell Westbrook hasn't been signed to an NBA team. If you look at his numbers last year, he was actually very solid in the role he played for the Denver Nuggets, being a six man off the bench. He averaged 13.3 points per game on close to 45% shooting overall from the field, averaged 6.1 assists and 1.4 steals, 3.2 turnovers. You could say he was still a turnover machine with Denver, but overall, he was a plus for them last year. I thought he was a very good addition. Granted, he was still Westbrook at times, and he was still making ridiculous turnovers, playing out of control, but I felt it was more like controlled chaos with the Nuggets last year. That overall the good outweighed the bad, which in previous years with Westbrook, you would say the bad outweighed the good when it came to winning, because I feel Westbrook's style is so out of control. Hence why I've always given him the phrase, which is Westbrook give it and Westbrook take it away when it comes to wins. I think that really summarizes his whole entire career, and just like is a microcosm of his career, you could say that. But there's been a lot of speculation to why teams are not signing him. And it's pointing back to LeBron James, that supposedly LeBron is petty about how Russell Westbrook was not able to help him when he was with the Lakers. And because of that, LeBron has been set out to destroy his reputation and get him permanently banned from the league. Now, I don't rule this out, that this is not a possibility. It could very well be a possibility, since LeBron is a narcissist, and narcissists are very petty. They have a list of enemies that they will take them out whenever they have the opportunity. It could be an enemy from like 10 years ago. And if the narcissist sees that the enemy is in a weak place and can be stepped on, they do it. So definitely it's a possibility, knowing LeBron is a narcissist. But I still have a hard time believing that it's just LeBron in himself influencing this. Sure, does LRMR, Rich Paul, and Clutch Sports have a huge influence over teams throughout the league due to Rich Paul being the super agent who can really punish teams if they don't do business with him, not giving him what he wants? Rich Paul has a reputation of getting guys overpaid, because there's always that threat in the future, like, hey, if you don't take care of my client, I'll make sure to screw you over in the future when you need one of my client's services, whether through forcing a trade or some other dirty maneuver. So yeah, there's that chance that through channels, LeBron has stopped Westbrook from being signed by using Rich Paul as a proxy, for this purpose, where Rich Paul could have sent a memo to all these teams that you better not sign Westbrook or else. Sure, it's a possibility. I don't rule it out, like I said, but I want to just play devil's advocate in the sense that I look at Westbrook, and yes, last year he had a very good season with the Nuggets and what he provided for them. But if you're a GM of some other NBA team, you might be looking at it through the lens of, well, yeah, he did really well with the Nuggets because Jokic was able to utilize him in a proper manner in which he could be used to win. That Jokic knew how to put him in positions and schemes on the court and got the best out of him. But that's because Jokic is an all-time great. He's already probably a top 20 all-time great when you look at it. So I think a GM might say, like, yeah, you did great with Jokic because Jokic is the best player in the league, but I don't have a Jokic. So it's not like I'm going to have someone that can control you in the sense to stop you from being very chaotic on the court and out of control and playing your typical Tasmanian devil style of basketball. I don't have that on my team, so why would I want to risk that? Like, and plus on top of that, Jokic is a great playmaker. I don't have that. That could be the mindset of a GM, just pointing that out there. I know Kendrick Perkins has said that the Bucks should sign him, but we got to look at Giannis. Giannis is not a great playmaker, so who knows? Maybe that there's a factor in not wanting him in that regard. So that could play a role in this. And also prior to signing with the Nuggets, Westbrook had been a flop the last several years since leaving OKC. Like he wasn't really a guy that can get you wins at a high level. That was his reputation. So just playing 1 year in Denver does not really erase the bad reputation he accumulated for the several years after he left OKC. I think that is playing a huge role in this, where teams are like, yeah, I don't want to touch him. Sure, he was great with Denver, but I don't have a Jokic. So why would I want to waste time with him? So that's what I'm thinking. It's mainly his reputation that's hurting him, and GMs are just scared to touch him, like I said, because Westbrook can cause you a lot of losses with stupid plays in close games. He is a turnover machine. He is out of control. I think all that factors in. So I don't want to fully give LeBron credit for getting Westbrook exiled. And who's to say that Westbrook might not be signed later on this year? That some team might want to add him for depth, or might be desperate and take a chance on him for even being a starter. That's a possibility. I know some people will wonder, why didn't Denver resign him? And the best explanation I can give for that is that they got Bruce Brown, who they had won a championship previously with, and who's been great in their system in the past. And he provides them, I would say, outside shooting, that he was a pretty good 3-point shooter with them from what I can recall when he played there. So he has the experience of playing with them. He's a very solid player. He's proven. So I think that factored all in them getting Bruce Brown and just letting Westbrook walk. So that's the only explanation I can give in that regard. But I don't think Russell Westbrook is fully done with the NBA yet. Like I said, I think there will be some desperate team that will sign him later on this upcoming season. But if he never gets signed again, maybe it is the LeBron factor. Maybe it is Rich Paul and Clutch Sports getting him permanently blacklisted from the league. It's a possibility, but I don't want to give them credit yet until we fully find out more on this story. So I have a wait and see attitude. And I say this as someone who's not a fan of LeBron, who thinks he's a hardcore narcissist and is a very toxic person, and who wants to see him retired. So I can be objective about this. But this is all I have to say about this situation.